What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Abrazo Football Podcast. Brooks and Blaine, as per usual. Brooks, how you feeling, man?
Good. I'm actually just looking at you for the first time. I know as you got the beard going.
Well, we've been in transit, moving, and then trying to wrap up work stuff. I just haven't had the opportunity to take care of myself, and I also don't know where my shaver is, or my aftershave. I like the aftershave I use. They don't have it at the stores, and I have to order it. And the apartment we moved in, the mailing isn't set up properly, so we're just kind of like living like without without overnight delivery. Basically, it's not good.
And you got the
It's not
new
good.
headphone. Is that another headphones?
Yeah.
This guy
Uh.
teched out.
Well, no, these are just the little Beats ones. No, not these. I was about to work out, and my other headphones are in the bedroom, and these are here. But they suck. These headphones suck, by the way. But they're cheap. They're only like $100, so whatever. And they use USB-C,
That's nice.
so it's easier to charge.
That's nice.
But yeah. How you doing?
Good,
Brooks?
man. Finally, we're just out here waiting for real autumn to hit, waiting for Christmas markets to open up in Europe. Yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. I have a run this weekend. I have a 10K this weekend, a race. So see how that goes.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
How about you guys?
Okay. What's the circuit? We're good. What's the
It
circuit?
starts at Montjuic, that park up like a castle and everything. So,
Mhm, the
yeah.
fountains?
So it starts there, goes. It's a 5K and a 10K. The 5K ends at the Arc de Triomphe here, our version of it, and then the 10K just continues on back toward the park. So start and finish there. It's a French name, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but Jean Bouin or something like that. Today's this year's the 100th anniversary of it, so it's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a lot of people. Yeah, it's gonna be an overload for me because I don't love crowds. But a friend of mine asked me to run it with him, so I was like, let's do this. Grace is gonna be out there taking pictures.
Nice. So what was a 10K about? Six.
Yeah, it's
and
like
a half?
6 something, 6.5 maybe, 6.8, 6.8 or something like that, 6.6.
Okay, 6'8". Okay, between six
Yeah.
and seven. All right, very good, man. Well, good.
Thank
Well,
you.
good luck. We're wishing you the best luck in that
Thank you.
10K. The Abrazo running club. Doing. We talked about the shoes last time. What are you running in?
I think that I will. I mean, it's either going to be the Alpha Flies or the Invincibles. I'll probably go Invincible just because it's not like I feel like there's going to be so many people, like an overload of people there, that time isn't even going to matter.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even going to get to the start line for about a minute or
Yeah.
so. So
Yeah.
yeah, just keep it
Yeah.
comfortable.
Exactly. You're. It's just
Yeah,
like
exactly.
doing it. Yeah. Not-
Yeah, there's three
Okay.
races. There's like one to have fun, one to prep, and one is like what you're going all out for. This is just like to have fun with my 64-year-old Catalan friend
Yeah.
that asked me to run it with him. So shout out to John, who will be
Exactly.
running
Yeah.
together.
Dude, that's why I like. That's why I like
Yeah.
5Ks or 5Ks and 10Ks because I feel like they're just like I'm just out here to have fun. I'm not like looking to
Yeah.
break any records. I'm just running.
Yeah.
and that's-
Although like by the time I get out there, I mean, who knows how I'm feeling? I might be feeling like Messi warming up for a Classico or something. But no, as of right now, it's just
Turn it
like
on.
let's just get this thing finished and get some breakfast after.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, let's move on to
Okay.
football then. So I mean, international break, no club football, but there were some big news coming from the Premier League. Everton, as you know, they were hit with a 10-point deduction for violation of the financial fair play rule, which I feel like I'm not alone in this. I feel like pretty much everybody has reacted negatively to the Premier League deciding to hit Everton. It's the biggest points deduction they've ever enforced on any team ever in the Prem, Brooks. But the reason is, and this is the crazy part, right? We all know, like, the last 3-4 seasons, Everton's have been struggling, relegation battles, there's a pandemic, sales are down. If you've been to Goodison Park, like I have, it's it's a historic stadium, but it's a horrible stadium. It's worse than Old Trafford. and they're in the process of trying to build a new stadium, so they're spending money. And from what I understand, Brooks, so during this last 3 years, it's 2023, so the pandemic up until now, they've been having financial issues like we all have, trying to make money, keep money, put butts in seats, sell jerseys, sell tickets, merch, whatever, game day revenue. And for whatever reason, they thought that there were certain things that they could write off. And the Premier League was like, no, like you have, like, basically what they're saying is like, you lost too much money in the last 36 months. So because of that, we are going to fine you more money. You're going to lose more money. We're going to fine you, and you're going to lose tickets, which is going to cause you to go straight into the relegation or right off the relegation zone. And on top of that, like if money is what you need, you're like, I don't think they're going to get relegated, but we're pushing you
Mm.
closer to the championship where you're going to make less money. Which I mean, I don't know what you would. It just blows my mind that that is their approach. Like, oh yeah, you like lost more money than you should have during the pandemic year and right now. And like you tried to buy good players, you lost some good players, you had to fire some coaches, you had a couple bad results. Now we're going to, on top of that, we're going to punish you more by taking points and money from you. How do
The
you
money
respond?
thing is crazy. I mean, because this is just a clear like a clear sign that all they want is money. It's just like all they're after right now is some money. Like, what's the
Yeah.
point of finding them money? Like points, okay. I mean, obviously, like it's not that I agree with that, but like a point seems somewhat of a reasonable, um, more reasonable than them being like, you lost too much money, so give us more of it. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Like,
Yeah.
I also of all of the teams that they're choosing to go after, like Everton. I mean, man, I get that they've been flirting with relegation the last 3 years, and I've made a couple jokes where I've just been like, I'm over, like, just relegate already. Just give it up. Like, I'm sick of you waiting
Yeah.
to the
Let's get
last.
sent to the
Yeah,
championship.
so it's crazy, man. I mean, it's also like one of my friends out here owns some property, and actually the guy that I'm running this race with, he owns some property up just outside of the center of the city. And his camera, like his when you ring a bell at an apartment, you got a camera and you can see everything, and you automatically let him in. Blah blah blah. That
Mm.
went out, and it only had a 2 year
Yeah, yeah.
warranty. But even that's covered under some weird COVID thing. So it's now under warranty because COVID hit that 1 year, or those 2 years didn't even count. So it's like it's just weird that you know the, the Premier League
Yeah.
or whoever, the FA, I guess, is not wanting to, like, I don't know. They're just choosing what is a penalty and what isn't a penalty, and what does apply as like a COVID, spending whatever, and what does. Like, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. But I also don't
Yeah.
understand it. So you gotta.
So
What's
let's
well,
keep
sorry, what were you saying?
no, ask your question.
I wanted to ask what you thought about it. I feel like I mean, you know it more than I do, so I just want to know what your thoughts are on about it.
It's I feel like I like obviously no club wants to
Right.
lose money. Everton isn't like they're not like Newcastle
Yeah.
City,
They can't
Chelsea,
lose money.
Arsenal. Like they're
Yeah.
not yeah. Yeah, and they're like for example, like Chelsea, like we don't care if we lose money. We just want to win
Yeah.
games. Like we're like Everton, like they're doing everything they can just to stay in the Premier League and not lose money and at the same time make a new stadium. And they didn't like I honestly believe that they didn't think that they were in violation of the rule. And it's a pandemic. Plus, I mean, and then like, okay, so they do this to Everton. And this is the part that confuses me the most, is they're saying it was a solitaire violation. Just one, we're gonna give you 10 points. 10 points, it was one violation. You look at Man City, I don't remember the number, but I think
A
it's
hundred.
over
Yeah,
a
isn't it?
hundred. It's at least over 90 violations. Don't like. I mean, I don't remember off the top of my head. I'll tell you this: it's more than 10. It's more than 20. It's more than 50. So if they get 10 points in Liverpool or Everton, but whatever the city, whatever. How many points is City going to be deducted? If Everton got deducted
Yikes.
10 points for one
Yeah.
violation, let's just say City. I mean, I'll just Google it real quick. How many? Like just to make sure we're right.
And
Man
how
City
much
violations.
was
How
Everton
many do
fined?
they?
Do you know how much they were fined? Is that like public information?
Maybe. Okay. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much they were fined. Um. I mean, and for all I know, the fine might only be like £10,000. Like it might be like it might be a non like a amount of money that doesn't really hurt them in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, but they could be relegated because they lost
Yeah.
10 points. I don't think they will. I think they're still better than the bottom three, but still, like there's still negative financial implications that come along with this. And I'm sure, like I don't know what the fine is. If you find it, let me know. But um, but Man City over 100 breaches. Everton
Yeah.
won. Man City over 100.
Jeez.
So are they going to lose 1,000 points? Is
Yeah.
that like is it 10 points per violation? Are they just like Man City just automatically gets relegated? This at the end of the season, next season they'll be in the championship. I don't know. We could also talk about Chelsea, who also has some violations that they are being investigated for. I mean, I feel like the difference here though is like Everton, they thought they were okay and they broke the rules, they were punished. Man City knows they're not okay. They lie and hide and refuse to cooperate, and they're still going through the process. Chelsea, on the other hand, self-reported after they sold or after the new ownership bought the club. They were like, "Oh, like we found some weird inconsistencies and what appear to be like illegal payments. You should know about it. It's from, the last ownership, but, let us know." I think they set aside £100 million, and they're like, if, this money, we're just going to leave it here for any fines for anything that the last ownership had done wrong. So I feel like there's like the middle ground where it's Chelsea, like we did something wrong, we found out, we're telling you. Everton, like we did not know, and it was one. And then there's like Man City, which is like, yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this because we know we're not. We're untouchable. Like financial fair play in the Champions League where they almost got kicked out. Now in the Premier League, anyway, I don't know. I mean, I'm just like looking at the whole thing. I'm like, City has to be like
Yeah.
relegated
No, I mean,
immediately. Like if Everton's getting a 10 point bet, like they got to send them down to like the third
yeah.
division
Well,
tomorrow
and
or
that's what I
something.
hear. I hear that because I mean, I had a bunch of friends that were writing and was like, "Yo, this is crazy about Everton. Like, why is City getting away with this?" And the only thing I've heard, I haven't heard much just because it's been a kind of a busy week, but I have heard that it's like it's not like it's over for City. Like they haven't. It's just that they're still pending this investigation, and they're potentially, like you said, like it's supposed to be, word is that it's going to be something way bigger than a 10-point deduction. But I just saw that the mayor of Liverpool is totally on Everton's side. And is writing to the Premier League
Yeah,
over what he says is an excessive
dude,
10
I
point penalty.
haven't.
I can't find the fine amount though, so that seems to be. But anyway, 10 points is
Yeah,
crazy. 10 points is a lot.
that's yeah. It's nuts. 10 points
Sad.
because you lost. Like because not because you spent too much money,
Lost.
because you lost too much
That's
money.
sad.
Like now we're gonna losing points on top. Like it just yeah, nonsense, nonsense. All right. Anything else you want to say about the Everton points deduction before we move on to
No,
our other
but I
topic?
mean, do you think that they're going to come down on Chelsea or no? Do you think they'll be fine?
I think they'll at the very least Chelsea will pay a
Okay.
fine. At the very least they'll pay a fine. I mean, I I personally don't think that they're going to get a points deduction. I don't think Chelsea will get a points deduction. I think they'll just get a fine. But I mean, also I feel the same way about Everton that I do Chelsea. If they get a point deduction, let's say 10 points, 15 points, like they'll still be in the
Yeah.
Premier League. And if it's money related, like Chelsea can obviously
Yeah, I
afford
feel
it.
like Chelsea would rather pay money
You know,
than take a points deduction, Because they're starting to
yeah.
click, they
Oh yeah,
could be on
easy.
the cusp of some sort of European competition, but if they get a 10 point or more deduction, that might hurt them.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, they won't finish
Yeah.
top six. They won't play in Europe or even the Conference League. Um, but it is what it is. I'm fine if you do the crime, you got to do the time. But excessive, like this is an excessive punishment for Everton. Like that's all. All right. International break. Not a whole lot. I mean, in terms of news, like it's a relatively low stakes international break in terms of like results. France beat Gibraltar. Was it 12 goals
12
that
or
they scored, or was
14,
it
something
14?
crazy.
12?
I was like, wait,
12.
That's a one in front of that number? That was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, that was a little bit silly. Didn't watch. I don't think I watched any of the international games. I mean, I watch England today if it's on TV. Um, but I feel like there's been a lot of injuries, right, Brooks? Like a lot of players are getting hurt. At least three players I can think of right now that got hurt during this international break in games that really don't. I mean, they matter because these are all qualifications, but games that they would have
Yeah.
qualified without said injured players'
Yeah.
involvement in the game. Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about
I mean,
that for a
first of
minute?
all, just real quick, speaking of France, like Mbappe is the youngest or the fastest, youngest, whatever, to hit, what is it? How many goals? 300?
300, 300.
And then on that game, there were 10 different goal scorers in that 14 to nothing game. That's like the entire outfield. Um, but
Yo, did you see Olivier Giroud's bicycle kick the last goal? That was
no,
he didn't need to
he
do
had
that.
it one in the
He
89th
his
and then the
last goal,
91st. It's awesome.
the one in stoppage time, just like like basically a bicycle kick inside the Gibraltar goal. Like he was like basically in the goal when he hit it.
That's
I was like, you
sad.
didn't have to do
That's
that
sad.
to him, Olivier. You disrespectful.
Um,
The French are so disrespectful with that. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. They are not disrespectful. They respected their opponents and they should have scored as many goals as they possibly could. You don't go easy.
I guess
That's a
not.
joke.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But no, I mean, yeah. But just to answer your question about the injuries, unfortunately, Gavi sustained a ACL injury, tore his ACL, I guess, like crying off the field, looked awful, felt super bad for the kid, so he's out. I mean, this guy shouldn't have even really been playing.
For the
Yeah,
season,
it's like
right?
7 months, they said.
Oh,
Like, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. He shouldn't even be. It's like it's just sad. Like, yeah, I shouldn't even be playing in these games for the most part. Like, I think Spain was already like on the top of their group. Obviously, yeah, you want to win them all, but man, against Georgia,
yeah. It's like, oh, man, that's like it doesn't. Yeah. I don't know. So yeah, him getting injured against Georgia.
n-
Like this is hitting La Liga. Vinny Jr. got injured with Brazil. I don't even know who they were playing. I think it was Chile,
I
right? Was
think
it
so.
Chile? I think it was Chile. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Chile.
Norway not
Um,
even making it to yet another
who
big
else?
competition. Erling Holland,
Two of the best players in the world, and your boy
Martin,
Martin
yeah,
Ode, Martin Odegaard.
yeah, and
But oh yeah, Holland
that's what
got
you're
injured
saying,
too, huh?
yeah.
Oh, why is he like? Why like this is crazy to me. Like if you're Norway, you got like if I'm Pep Guardiola or Man City, I'm like, listen, dog, you're not going to the European Championship. We already know that. Like it's not even a question. It's like when Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, if he was playing for like a high level club, like you're not gonna go play for Gabon. I'm sorry, like they're not winning anything with Gabon. They're not in contention. It's not worth your time. It's not worth our time. You're staying here. You're training where we know you're not gonna get injured and you can keep scoring goals for us for the remainder of the season. Now Holland, I mean, it's great for you. Holland's injured. We don't wish
Yeah,
anyone get injured, but I mean, he's out for at least. I think what is it? 2, 3 weeks,
yeah.
something like
I'll
that.
probably,
I mean,
yeah, I'll
he's a
probably be
monster though.
less.
He'll probably be back up
Yeah,
next weekend. He'll probably be back next weekend. But still, why? Why are you even playing? Why'd you
yeah.
even go? Stay at this. I mean, I get it, you want to represent your country, but
But I mean, to be fair, they were on like the
now's
cusp.
not the
They
time.
could have potentially, if they had won, then they could have like maybe sought their way in via the playoff or something. But it was still a far fetched thing. But yeah, they're done. Like there's no chance, and he's hurt now. So I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
and he's hurt. Boys,
it's just crazy to me that I mean, because him and Odegaard, obviously, a team is more than two people, but it just sucks to not be able to see them play at the highest level of international competition. It's like Ibra. It had the same problem with Ibra. You never really got to see
yeah,
him at the highest level of international competition. And one year it was against him and Ronaldo. Portugal obviously beat them out in that playoff, but yeah, I don't.
yeah.
I just hate
Hmm.
seeing this. I don't like when I see some of the top players not be able to represent their country. Also, when some of these top players at such a young age get such a crazy injury. I guess that's a kind of a shining light for Gavi that he's so young and his body going to be able to hopefully spring back pretty easily.
Yeah, yeah. He's still growing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you hate to see it. This is why I always get so nervous when like there's a like a Carabao Cup game, and you got Bukayo Saka starting on the right wing. It's just, or it's like, come on, it's really not that serious.
Hmm.
Really isn't that serious, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. No. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it's not. Like you don't want to end up getting dunked out of the Carabao Cup too early, but also, I mean, if you do, like it people will forget the next day. Like as opposed to Saka getting injured and being out for 3 weeks, and they're like, why was he playing against Sheffield Wednesday in the Carabao or whoever, whatever team they were playing in the third round of the FA or the Carabao Cup, or I guess there's not a third round, but
Hmm.
whatever. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Well, I guess speedy recovery to those
Yeah.
players. Or I mean, Gabby is out for the season, but I just that sucks so bad. I mean, it sucks because I mean, I feel like Barcelona are struggling a
Yeah.
little bit. Um, right? Like barely winning games, and then one of their best players is now out for the season, which means they have to rely on an eight. Like basically, their midfield now is. I mean, you got Frankie, you got is Pedri injured? I feel like I
Yeah,
haven't
but
seen him play
I
in a
think he
while.
came on like second half substitute one of the last couple
Okay,
weeks. But yeah, he been injured for a long time too. Yeah, Barcelona's struggling right
yeah.
now.
So I'm looking. I'm like,
Lewandowski like went
yeah, they're
goalless for
struggling.
like the longest time in his career.
Yeah, so weird. Uh huh. Okay.
But speaking of that, real
Trying to
quick, I
think, is
do
there?
want to shout out the Barcelona women who crushed Real Madrid 5-0.
Oh, in the
Yeah.
classic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess. Um, I didn't see the game. I think I saw that one of the girls from Barca that scored was like the youngest player to ever score in the El Clasic. That's all I saw. I didn't see what the actual score was. Was that
That was
yesterday? Or was it?
yesterday.
It must have been
Yeah.
yesterday.
These
Okay.
Barcelona are insane. I mean,
Yeah.
they also crushed Benfica 5-0, the same scoreline in Champions League. Then they beat Villarreal 6-0 the week before that. Then they beat Sevilla 8-0. This is insane. Like I do truly feel. I know that we talked about the women last week and how crazy men are to hate on the women's game. But yeah, I really feel like if you brought this Barcelona squad into some of the men European competitions, they could hold their own against some of these men's team. People are gonna come for me at me for that, but I don't care. They're so good. They're so good.
Holy crap. Yeah. Wow. It's like over 20
In
goals in
like
four
four
games.
games. Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Femeni.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Femeni?
Yeah.
Femani. Femeni. Barcelona Femani. Dang. Okay. Wow.
I mean, it's a
Jeez. 6,
stacked
8,
team.
10, 10.
It's a yeah. They're good. They're good.
Huh. Okay. I will say this about the women's game. I watched because it was an off week. I watched Chelsea girls play the Real Madrid girls. It was a good
Yeah.
game. 2-2 in the Champions League, but it's like, this works. I feel like I mean if I honestly feel like if it was on TV
Yes.
more, people
Well,
would
that's the
watch it.
problem.
Like it's not yeah. It's like I flip it on like and I mean this okay and then we can move on or you can say like I feel like a lot of times like when there's nothing on like like even like college games like I'll watch those times and be like this is interesting like this isn't bad like I would rather watch this than a major league
Yes,
soccer
I'm
game
with you. I've been
and
saying that
that's
for so long.
that's all I'm gonna say
Yeah,
about
I'm with
that
you. Yeah.
but
Shout out to women's
okay
soccer. I'm sorry to start bringing something up every single week about it because it definitely needs
yeah
more traction. But yeah, you're right. If it was
yeah
televised more,
yeah
that would definitely help. But I mean, I live here in Barcelona. I don't even know
yeah
where to
because I
find
mean
it.
these people are
Yeah, no,
balling.
really.
Yeah, same. Yeah, no, yeah, it's just every once in a while, like I'll turn on the TV and it's like when it shows you like things, it's like, oh, this is on. It will just show like the logo will be like Barcelona and like Bayern Munich, and I'm like, oh, like the dudes are playing. I click it, and it's like, no, it's the girls. And I'm like, oh well, I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I know some of these
yeah,
people,
yeah.
and I'm like, okay, they're scoring goals. It's technical. It's not like the WNBA where people are like, oh yeah, like they can only do layups and shoot. It's like, nah, they're doing like crazy stuff. Like and I feel like also like with the women, like the level of skill between like the good ones and the bad ones is like further apart. So like it makes for more like for example like what other world like would you see a team score 20 goals in
Yeah.
4 games? Like that alone is a reason to watch. Like I want to see 20 goals in 4 games. It's like that's the reason I used to watch Bayern Munich so much in like the early 2000s. So like I
Blaine
know
does
you're
love
just
a
gonna score
battering. You
like
do
20
like to
goals.
see, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I'm not even a fan. I just want to watch you guys destroy your opposition. So I'll be tuning in
Yeah,
every
popcorn
Sunday
for the France
to watch you
game
play.
when
But
they went 14-0.
oh, I wish that would have been televised. Because, dude, I mean, the highlights that I watched, it was like on, like, it was like a 3 minute long highlight reel. And I'm like, literally, like, you're giving each goal like 10 seconds. Like, here's the goal, here's the goal, here's the goal, here's the goal. Like, I want to see it from all the angles. This should be a 30-minute highlight reel for 12 or 14 goals or how many ever goals it was. But I I digress. All
Okay.
right.
Well, is there anything else?
Well, I mean, there's we typically don't talk about music
Ooh.
on the channel, but a legend of the
Oh.
game, Southern, you know, AT Alien, Andre High School 3000, 3K, put out an album 2 days ago on Friday. Um, you care to speak about this this hip hop legend record? Can you call it hip hop though? What is this album that Andre 3000 put out?
I mean, I don't know what it is, but it had very much had like FKJ vibes to me. But so I mean, I don't know if I'm just an old man now, but man, every single track had me. That I love that album. I put it on. We had some friends over, and I put it on, and everybody was like, "What? Yeah, what is this? What is this?" And I was like, "It's an Andre 3000 album." They were like, "No, this is like a fluke." I'm like, "Yeah, look at the album artwork." I mean,
Yeah.
it's funny because when I click on the album on Apple Music, you know how it shows you who's listened to it. It's like people
Mm-hmm.
that I never would have imagined that like are listening to this because it's just really, I don't know, amazing. It like encompasses kind of everything. It's like super meditative. If you just need to sit and relax, if you gotta go like in your world, if you just need to sit and code for hours, man, you just throw this on,
Oh,
put
oh
on some
yeah.
headphones.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's perfect. The thing is, so I agree with all of that, and we played it around the house a little bit, and it's good. It's good. It's not like my favorite, but it's good. But the craziest thing to me is like the names of all of
Yeah.
um the track names. Like they're so crazy. Like I haven't even bothered trying to like memorize them or like know what they are. Like I saw them and I was like, okay, this is like over my head. Just press play and not even look. It doesn't matter. It's just sounds and music. One of my friends, I was playing soccer with him. Like, so Kaylee, like, she made like an Instagram post, like saying like this is what it's like in our house when we're listening to this
Yeah.
album, and it was just a joke, right? And I reposted my friend. He's like he approaches me and he says one of the song names. This is Yesterday, and I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? And he's like, the album, man. Like, that's the track. That's track number 2. And I was like, you think I know? Like it's like a full blown sentence in a catchphrase. I'm not gonna say what it is. Just look at track number 2. And I was like, I didn't even know that's what it was called. Like there's two like these names
Yeah.
are like Gandhi Dalai Lama, your Lord and Savior. What?
No, yeah, Kaylee posted that, and I just
No, like
responded. I was like, "Yo, track one had me," because I have no idea what is to call track one. That's track one had
we
me.
don't know. We don't know. Yeah, you don't know what these tracks are called. Like I do not know what these tracks
It's
are
like
called.
that.
This is like the equivalent of. Go
I
ahead.
look at that Kendrick album where every song is called like Untitled One, Untitled Nine. Like, I'm like, I don't know which one I
Yes.
liked because I don't know which Untitled it was.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
liked it. Well, it's also like so another shout out Chad Mariotti, our friend of the channel. There's the Max
Mm,
Richter like
mm, mm, mm.
meditation sounds and like you know what I'm talking about like 800 tracks or whatever. I listen to that all the time. I could not tell you the name
No.
of one song
Yeah.
because it's like nighttime slow aria third 13
Yeah.
plus Rolling Hill Thunder Clap. I'm like, no, I don't know. I'm just going to star the ones that I like, and those are the ones I'm going to listen to. I'm not even going to bother trying to. So that's how I mean. I feel that's how I feel about this album. It's like press play and let it go, but like I will never know. And they're also too long. Like the songs are so long, it's hard for me to even know like when one starts and the other one begins. I'm like, you just
Yeah,
play
but
the
I mean,
album.
it works though. Like
That's
it
it.
blends
Just
into each
play
other.
that.
So it's like one
Yeah.
long song that, yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's
it's
amazing.
perfect. Yeah. Yeah. It's perfect. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's just the names, and I'm like I'm not even mad
No,
about the
no,
names. I'm just
no.
like
The
I
only,
don't know them, and
yeah.
I'm not, and I never
The only one
will.
that I
Yeah.
can say is ants to you, gods to who. Like, because that was the shortest one, and it had a little bit of a rhyme to it, but
Okay.
that's it. Like everything else was like, it was so big that it won't even fit on the screen of a computer when I'm looking at it. It's just like keep dot dot dot.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you brought up Max
I would
Richter,
agree with
so
you for
real
that.
quick, I know that we've now derailed from football to music, but what I want to say about Max Richter is, you know, Apple Music Classical. Did you get that? I mean, everybody that has Apple Music has it. Have you downloaded the app?
I know. No, I did not download the app because I do not really listen to
Classical.
classical music like
Okay,
that.
well, that being said, the Max Richter album on there is called Recomposed. It's probably on regular Apple Music too, to be honest. But he takes like Vivaldi and does it Max Rick and like Max Richter's them. Yeah, that it's so good too. I love that whole album. He takes Vivaldi's work from
Oh yeah, I see it right here.
1725. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I see he did the remix on Four
Yeah, the four.
Seasons.
That's the best one. Oh, that's why that's the best one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll tell you this. I have PTS, not maybe not PTSD. When I was in school, I just like one of my electives was like music 110 or 1000. I can't remember, but it was like an introductory to music, and it was all classical music. And like the class, you had to like memorize all of the classic like Vivaldi, and like be able to like to listen to it and be like, oh yeah, like this is like the fourth score, the third score, like just like quizzing me about classical music, which turned me off of it completely because it turned it into like it felt like a job
Dang.
where I was like, I remember like at the Weber State campus, like this is like in 2005, like walking into the library and like having to get like this huge album, just like CDs with like hundreds of hours of music. And then like ripping that and putting it on my iPod, and then just like walking around campus listening to classical music and like taking notes. Like, oh, like this is how I know this is Vivaldi. This is how I know this is Chopin. This is how I know this is anyway. Why are we talking about classical music? Because we were talking about Andre 3000 and Max Richter. Two, which I'm gonna check it out now. I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
This is it on Apple Music? But if not, I have
Spring
access to
One is
Apple Music
tra
Classic.
that's my track. Yeah, Spring. I mean, he does them all really well though, and then like Andre's album, like they all bleed into each other really well too. So that's how I like an album to
Yeah,
be. I don't need some distinction between. I
yeah,
mean, I guess it depends on like what I'm after, but I love when like even on like a hip hop album when they all kind of blend in or tell a story. Like, yeah, I love that. Mm.
yeah. Okay, last thing I'll say. I also feel like if you use Apple Music, I don't know if Spotify does this because we don't. Oh, we do, but I don't. It has the new feature where like you can just like use the DJ crossfade, where like the song will it just automatically like has the songs blend
I
into
haven't
each
used
other.
that feature yet. No, I
Do
forgot
you
all
use that
about
feature?
that. Do you use it?
It's so good. Oh yeah, it's so good.
So
It's
essentially, all
so
it's doing
good.
is it's just
Which
lowering
but it
one. It's
just
like
makes it
ducking
harder.
one and then putting the other into it. Like just
Yeah.
okay. I mean, because
hmm
you
Yeah, and you can
what?
I was gonna say, and you can like say, for example, like when you want it to start. So like 30 seconds before
Really?
song A ends, start doing it. So like it's so seamless where it's like you don't even really realize because like you hear like one beat fade and the other one pick up and you're like, oh yeah, this must just be like a transition in the song. And next thing you know, you're like 2 minutes into the next song, you didn't even realize that you're on a different song.
Because that
But
was when you know when they
I
these Mac
digress.
rumors or whatever they talk about like top 10 new features of iOS 17 or whatever. That was one of them, and I was like, "Yeah, they're digging if like a fade in is one of the like features." But you're not the first one that's been like, "No, this feature is like awesome."
It's
Okay.
hard. It's beautiful. Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, I love it. I remember, yeah, when I don't know if it was in the keynote or if I was just reading the press release, but I was like, oh yeah, like And I feel like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong here, but I feel like the
I
old
was just gonna
iPods
say
used to
that
have
you
that
could choose
feature.
like it wasn't minutes, it was
Yeah,
like 3 or 5 or seconds, like 5 or 10 seconds. I feel like they had that
yeah,
feature.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
right.
like, yeah, high school was just, I like, because like the iPod was just like in the back pocket with like the cords coming through the back of your pop it in. I got the hat on with the hood. You can't see it. It's just faded all day. You didn't even know. Good times. That's in the past. All right, well, Brooks, do we have anything else football related that we need to tell the people before we get out of here
No,
today?
I feel like I feel like this season so far, the first half of the season has had so many international breaks. I'm like, it sucks. It
It seems, yeah,
sucks.
it seems like a lot. It seems like a lot.
So
Yeah.
no, I'm happy for it to be
Um.
over. The last one, obviously, until the new year. But I looked up the December schedule. Arsenal play 8 games in December, so I'm like very. This is gonna be a good end of the year if you're a football fan. Everybody's playing. It's like a lot. I mean, if
Oh,
yeah, Champions League.
you're happy
I mean,
about that.
I'm happy as a spectator. I'm not happy as knowing
Okay.
that Arteta's going to play Bukayo Saka every one of those minutes. He's also going to play. He's going. Ben White got hurt. Bukayo Saka is always on the verge.
Yeah.
These guys, they go at him hard, like not like Neymar hard, but people are starting to come after Bukayo Saka and foul him pretty heavy. It seems, and it, you know,
Oh. Oh yeah. You got to eliminate the threat. He is the threat. I mean, you saw what your Italian defender did to him. I'm saying he's your Italian defender. I'll never let it go.
yeah,
Fools him. He's just
the Euros,
basically
yeah, yeah.
what is it called? When you just like clothesline him,
Yeah,
but he pulled him
yeah.
from the back. Um,
But no, I got none.
yeah,
Yeah,
December.
eight
Eight
games
games in December. That's two
a
games.
week.
Probably it probably gets close because I feel like they play on Boxing
Yes.
Day, and then I guess they also typically play on the first day of the year, and so you might even be looking at 9 games
In like
in
a 30,
a
yeah,
month
in like a, yeah,
plus a
exactly.
day. Yeah, like a 31 day,
Yeah.
32 day. That's tough. But yeah, I'm with you. I look forward to this time of year too because like you can basically just be on the
Yeah.
couch
It's
watching
so good.
soccer
I
every day.
know. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Like, yeah, like everything's shutting down. Nobody's really working too hard. It's just football on all. Yeah. So for example, like they play Brentford the 25th, so in 5 days. But then the 29th, I don't think I counted that game, but they play Lens and Champions League. But yeah, December 2nd, 5th, 9, 12, 17. It's like yeah, like you said, like playing twice, sometimes 3 times a week. They play the 23rd, 28th, 31st.
Okay, they don't. So they play their New Year's
Yeah.
Eve game
Then they have like 20
instead of
days
on New
off,
Year's
which is
Day.
good, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Winter break.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this lineup though. So you guys, it looks. I mean, Wolves, Luton, Villa, Eindhoven, Beehove. Okay, Liverpool, Ham. I mean, you guys. I feel like this is a.
It's a
I
pretty
mean,
good stretch to go
I'm
eight
not trying to
games
be
in.
disrespectful. It's
Yeah.
a good run.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to get results out of all of these
Yeah.
games. Like Liverpool, obviously, will be the
Hmm.
test, but I mean, you got a full week between that, like Brighton Hove on the 17th, and then the 23rd you have
Yeah.
Liverpool. I mean, West. I mean, the same. It
Could
could
be
be worse.
worse.
I'm curious to see what
Could be
Chelsea's
worse.
looks
Yeah,
like
look up
at this
Chelsea's
time.
because I mean we're
Okay,
not trying to
okay.
be disrespectful because our Aston Villa. I mean that's not going to be an easy game. I'm just historically, in my mind, I'm like oh Aston Villa, but they're playing really really well. Obviously, Brighton is always dangerous.
That's yeah.
Liverpool, yeah, obviously gonna be tough. There's a couple Champions League games in there, and then West Ham took them out in the cup. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
So they'll bounce back in the
yeah, I
league.
think so. I think so.
Chelsea's Chelsea's schedule's slightly more difficult. We got Brighton, Newcastle. Well, I guess it's probably not harder. Newcastle, I'm worried about. I'm worried about Brighton. I'm always worried about Brighton. Man
Chiefs,
U,
yeah,
meh. See Crystal Palace, maybe. But then we got like Sheffield
Hmm.
United and Luton in there, so that's at least 6 points. famous last words. We're gonna lose every single one of these games.
Do they have a lot
I
throughout
gotta
that time
check his
too? Is it a lot of games,
Wikipedia.
or just? I mean, they should probably have like six
Uh,
then. I think 6 or 7 in that time. They have
eight,
8 also.
8, yeah, 8. Without
That's
Champions
crazy.
League, one Carabao Cup
Oh,
sprinkled
okay,
in
okay,
there.
that
Yeah, it
makes
seems like
sense.
Arsenal. Yeah, but then like they have then they play a week after, 2 weeks after the new
Okay.
year, whereas Arsenal has the full 20. But I mean, I'm not. It is
Yeah.
what it is.
It's always a tough
Yeah.
time of year,
Well.
but it's always as a fan, it's really fun.
Oh yeah. 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 Oh yeah. I wish I feel like, man, I always thought that they would play. I feel like they used to always play on New Year's Day, and it looks like there's no games on New Year's Day this time, which is a little bit weird. I feel like they always play on the first day of the year.
I mean,
Fixture congestion?
as the way that the international break is going, it's probably another international break.
Nah, the only team playing on New Year's Day is Liverpool and
Okay.
Newcastle, which I mean, and then like all of the championship is playing, so we'll watch Ipswich play too. But hey, it is what it is. If there's at least 2 games on that day, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
The early game, I'll watch Ipswich, and then the late game, I can watch Newcastle, Liverpool.
Yeah. Okay. If that's your home
My
team.
voice just like slurred. Yeah, dude, they're doing great, dude. I think they're still top two in the league
Wow.
too, in the championship. Let me look at this
The
table real quick.
hometown team.
Yeah, dude, just tied on points with like Leicester City. That ain't nothing,
Really?
dude. That's if yeah. I think Ipswich is coming back to the Prem next season. It's yo, it's crazy, right? I'll lose
And
my
that's where you were
mind.
born.
But we're
Okay. And
yes,
that's the team that Ed
yes,
Sheeran. Okay. Is
yes.
that in his town too? Like that
That,
where he's
that's
from,
that's
or
Ted.
he
Yeah,
just okay?
yeah. That's where Ted's from, man. That's where he's from. That's where we from. That's what we do. Yeah, man. You got the Divide tour as the logo. I'll say this. I wish Umbro wasn't the shirt
Yeah.
supplier. I wish they still had Adidas. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't hate Umbro. I just wish they had like a better shirt supplier because it's hard for me to wear an
I
Umbro
mean,
shirt
you know that.
just because I don't have anything to go with
Yeah,
it.
but you know your boy Teddy, Ted's photos or whatever he is on IG.
Teddy.
He's a big Nike. I mean, he's a big hype guy. He
Yeah.
loves Nike. So maybe who knows when they get to the Premier League, maybe he's gonna pull some strings, make some calls, and get them back into Nike. But because I don't know. I mean, now we're so derailed. But he's a huge watch guy, and he has one of his. He has a Patek Philippe that he basically it's a piece unique. There's only one in the whole world. They made it for him because instead of it's a world time, so it's got all the different cities around the world, what time it is, and usually it's London.
Okay.
But he called. He was like, "Hey, can I make it my hometown of whatever that place is? I forget the name of it." And they were like, "Yeah." So they made one for him that has the name of his home city, um, instead
Okay.
of the name London,
So,
which is crazy. So he
I
can
feel
pull
like I want to see
he can
that.
pull some strings.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Wait. I guess I don't. He's the only person. Okay,
Farmlingham,
people don't need to
I
see me
think,
zoomed in
is
like this.
where what he had put on there, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
Farmlingham. I don't know how to say
Wow.
it as the British say, but
Is it the
Farmlingham.
is it the is it the white watch?
No, he
What color is
rarely
it?
wears this watch. I'll send you a picture right now. Um, it's I mean, if that watch is crazy. That watch is crazy.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's awesome.
All right. Cool. Yeah, send it
Yeah.
over. Well,
Anything else? Is that it?
guys, nah, I think that pretty much concludes, this week's episode. Okay, there it is. Okay, let me look at this real quick before we go get a reaction. Oh, that's not at all what I thought it would look like. Okay. And then
But here's the real one for him. I'm
uh
gonna see if I can, because it's yeah.
oh, because I was gonna say that one says
Yeah, I'm trying
London.
to find the
Yeah.
one that's. I think they just found it. Um, nope. Yeah, but anyway, I'll send it over.
All right, cool. Well, people, Thank you for hanging out with us. We will see you in a week.
Bye.
Peace.